Just wanted to give you guys a little update on the mutation project because I haven't posted anything in a little bit. Another reason I'm making this video today is just some normal everyday modding that we have to do on Mary's. Here, let me see this real quick. That's Mary and Max here. We're just hiking around. We just upgraded her from a GTX 750 Ti to a EVGA SCC GTX 970 with the ATX 2.0 cooler. And so with that ATX power supply in there, I have to scoot it back like 1.5 centimeters for the graphics card to line up with the connectors coming out of the power supply. The graphics card is just not going to fit in there. So it's going to be a quick mod. The bracket that the power supply is mounted to is actually screwed in. It's not riveted or anything, so I just have to remove that, drill like 4 holes, scoot it back 1.5 centimeter, and then I actually have to chop out one of the little retaining brackets for the front panel because that's going to get in the way, and then also cut out part of the panel door that slides back, just the bottom inch of that. So it's going to be a pretty quick mod, but we're going to get that going, and that's about it.
Sweet.
So I was able to get the GTX 970 into the case. Everything lines up nicely. All the panels are straight. This thing wasn't really pulling at all, but I did put a piece of double stick tape in there. It was about the same width as the panel gap anyway, so it kind of just reinforced that straight line, and it'll keep this in place. Anyways, moving the power supply back, that 15 millimeters really worked well. Everything's nice and secure and fits nicely without it stressing on, the graphics card or any other components. And everything's nice and structurally sound. Because we're cramming everything in such a little case here, I did some temp checks with this graphics card and pretty impressed with the ATX 2.0 cooler. So the fan speed's been sitting pretty much in the low 30s with the auto curve. And it is audible, but it's not really that loud. It's much louder than my computer, but for an air-cooled system, it's not too bad. Once you ramp up to like 50%, it really gets loud, and the same with 80 and 100. I've been running Folding at Home, which is a distributed computing project by Stanford University. I've been running that for like 4 hours today, testing different fan speeds with this graphics card. So actually with the fan running at 100%, it was sitting at like 48, 50 degrees, and that's at 100, like 96% load generally. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's super loud, but the trade-off is that you get great performance out of that cooler. I'll give you a little sneak peek on mutation because haven't had a lot of time to post updates on it. Been doing a lot of experimentation with different cable routing methods and stuff like that, and I've been working a ton, so I just haven't had time to post any updates. But I've been milling these aluminum cable combs, and just I've basically been doing like a bunch of different prototypes, and they're pretty cool, but they take a long time to mill, and each one's coming in at like 45 minutes. So here's another one of my attempts at a different type of comb, like an open back one. It came out really good, except for had a few spots where it milled too thin, so like this little finger came off. Basically, this is the width of the extrusion I'm using, so these little fingers will just stick out, and the cables will just line up flat with the extrusion. So a lot of that kind of stuff going into the build. I'll be using these pass-through fittings to route tubing through the floor. So I got the Primo Chill reservoir mounted, and it looks pretty good. It's going straight through the floor and goes all the way to the top of the case. I got the pump mounted. I made custom brackets for all that kind of stuff. That's all I got for now. I hope you found my mod for the Node304 useful. And also stay tuned for the next mutation build log.